Welcome to the Building Brands podcast. I'm here with Katie Thomson from Katie Thomson Marketing. Hello, Katie.
Hello, nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to be seen. Thanks for having me out here.
You're more than welcome.
We are at Katie's incredible office in somewhere in Devon. Whereabouts in Devon?
So we are near Yarkham, so Honiton, East Devon.
Yarkham,
Yes.
the manor of St Francis Drake.
No one often knows that. Yeah,
Well,
that's right, yeah.
Just drove past the sign.
Okay. Clever clogs.
Does that mean he's got a manor here, or this is his manor?
There is a manor here.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, a very big one. Yeah.
So he wasn't like a London ute?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, okay.
Although that would be quite funny.
Yeah. So yeah, just outside Honiton. It's glorious, but I've already waxed lyrical about your view constantly, and now I get to look at it while you speak. I'll
Yes.
try to concentrate.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Polly, block the view.
And we are joined by the magnificent Polly. Just off camera. She's here to applaud.
Yes.
So tell me, what's your role here at Katie Thomson Marketing? Kind of clues in the name, isn't it?
Clues in the name. I was always never sure whether to call the business Katie Thomson Marketing or not, but yes, anyway. So my role is a marketing consultant, and we are an agency of two of us. So I work with service-led businesses, helping them grow. In very simple terms.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that we'll cover, but yeah, in simple terms, I consult for service-led businesses.
Yeah, and you're obviously the founder, unless someone else founded it.
Yes.
And you just happened to find it.
I am the founder. I'm never sure whether to say founder, owner, but yes, I am the founder.
Yeah. Founder's got more toxic white guy vibes.
Yeah, I like it.
Nice. We'll lean into those for this whole sesh. Okay, cool. And what does so you work with service businesses, and is it like strategy and on, or what? Take us through what a normal client would look like for you and what you do for them.
So it's different for every client really, but in the main, we get asked to speak to clients when they are struggling with their marketing. So they could be a business of 3 people or a business of 400 people, and we have everything in between. And they normally call us because they're spending too much money on the marketing and it's not working, or they're not spending enough and they've no idea what to do. And we go in and talk normally to partners, owners, and build their strategy for them. What's working, what's not working, work all that out, and then we do everything from manage their social media, build websites, host events, man events, absolutely everything you can imagine. So it's quite niche because it's just for service-led businesses. Yeah. But there's a lot to it. Yeah. So we cover a lot.
And so I'm just annoyed that you said service-led businesses then, because I became very active I was like that. Oh, you run events?
Yeah.
That's good. Service-led. Shame. Yeah. Oh, the fog's coming. I can't see the view. But okay, so and are they typically based in the southwest, or where are your clients based?
So when we first set up the business, I've been in the industry for a long time. So I've worked in law firms, mainly in the southwest, other professional services firms. So we started just in the southwest because I just had a bank of people I knew. I called on them, obviously, and started building a reputation. But oddly, that's grown to all over the country. So we've got clients in Stafford, Wales, London, all over the place.
Nice.
And I think that became obviously easier to do during COVID, and the business was set up during COVID. So some clients, I'd never met before because we weren't able to. But obviously now we have. But it has meant that for us, we're able to cover the whole of the country.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the real difference, I think, post-pandemic, isn't it? If you're running an agency.
Enormously.
So what did you do? I say I'm going to ask 4 questions, and then I'll just ask a load of other questions off the back of the first one. What did you do in law firms before you did this?
Mainly started in business development, purely. So literally just BD. And then changed to, I was chief operating officer in a law firm. So learned all sorts of things. Then head of marketing, mainly marketing manager positions. But working up from the ground up to work directly with stakeholders and partners, and learning what's good and what's not good. So what works and what doesn't work. And also, because I worked in firms that were all different sizes, you learn an awful lot. They all work very, very differently. But it's given me quite a good perspective, I would say.
law firms, and I guess you're doing accountancy firms as well.
Yeah, accountancy, estate agency. I think that's the other thing is what I'm asking questions now. But what is a service?
Yeah,
that's a question that we get asked an awful lot. So what do you mean by service-led marketing?
Yeah.
And basically, it's any business where there's no product.
Yeah.
So you're solving a problem. It's not something you can touch or look at or feel.
Yeah.
So people always think law firms, accountancy, but that can be anything.
Yeah.
Anything where you're providing a service, hairdressing.
Yeah, of course.
Window cleaning. You know, it can be anything. So specialise in more professional services, but it does, stretch photography, anything really.
Yeah. The law firms is a good one though, because they are a peculiar beast.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, they're all their own different peculiar beasts.
Yeah. And I think they also, I've been away for a week, just last week with a law firm, doing some events up country. And I used to work with them years ago, and now they get me in to do these events and then wheel me back out again. But they are fascinating by their very nature and the way they operate. And because they are operating on every minute matters to them, because they're recording time, aren't they? So they have a target and they have to hit that target. Their mindset is very, very different to somebody else who is selling clothes, or do you know what I mean? It's just a completely different beast. And
you've got the interesting thing about stakeholders and budget holders in the business, particularly if it's one of those ones that still partnership as opposed to the limited company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even with the limited company, when you've got that dusty old lawyer in the room who's been there since 1978.
Yeah.
Why would we want to spend my money on AdWords? I'm retiring next year. I don't want to do any marketing.
Yeah.
This is my chair. I'll take this when I go.
Yeah. And instantly, that's funny you should say it, because we work with businesses where they are going through partnership changes. Yeah. And we've got some businesses where they're right in the middle of it, and they've got, half the partnership are older, half are younger, which is the worst possible mix.
Really tough.
It's really hard. And then we work with others where they've retired, and then it's sort of a slightly younger, newer partnership. And younger can be, doesn't mean they're all in their 20s.
No.
It's a mix of ages, but they're sort of in the middle of their career. And they're really fun to work with.
Yeah, really motivated.
Fun. Yeah. And willing to try stuff.
Yeah.
With the exception that it doesn't always work. And that makes the job interesting, I must say.
Yeah, that's really cool. And how do you do it differently to other people who say they specialise in marketing for services?
I think there aren't a huge amount of people that specialise just in services, would be the first thing. So as far as I'm aware, there are people that just do law firm marketing. There are people that, specialise really niche. So what we do differently is approach it that it's not all about spending lots of money. And I'm always nervous to say what I really think when I come onto stuff like this, but
no, do it.
Often in marketing, you it's all about, or the perception is, it's all about spending money and doing everything.
Yeah.
To me, that's my experience of going through and working with lots of different people and different agencies, and I'm not about that. So I'm more about, actually, it's not how much you spend, it's where you're spending it. And I think that is a little bit different, or perhaps the perception is a little bit different. So whenever I go and pitch for a job, I always tend to lead with that. So let's just establish what you're spending and why. Well, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You can cut that in half, but just do this really, really well.
Yeah.
And everyone always goes, oh, really? Oh, crikey, okay. And when I worked in-house, I used to find that quite hard. People didn't like it very much, which is terrible thing to say, but I never was very well liked in-house, because marketing is like, come on, we've got to get budget and spend it, because if we don't spend it, we're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry about that when you're a consultant in an agency. You don't have that issue. You can just be really honest.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
And there's something different about you coming out of a below the line budget or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're paying Katie for this advice, as opposed to Katie is one of our employees, and we don't really believe what she has to say about marketing, because it's rubbish and you can't measure it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is, when you're working either in-house or as an agency with a product business, it's easy, it's tangible, isn't it? As I said before, because you sell those pair of shoes for £50 and you're going to spend £5 on an ad. You've paid the person to do it. The profit's a lot easier to measure, and so it becomes more attractive to do more, and it's just sexy. When it comes to service-led marketing, that's really hard, because what do they sell their service for? There's fixed rates, there's hourly rates, there's project packages, there's so many different things. And we know that because we're a service-led business. So it's quite hard to quantify it.
Yeah, and what's the lifetime value of that client coming in?
Yeah, and also the buying process is so much longer with a service. So money you invest in year 1, you might not see until year 3, but it'll be like tenfold.
Yeah.
But that's quite hard to get across and sell to someone.
How much of an influence does your early grounding in BD in law firms help you now?
Hugely, massively. Because I think a lot of what I talk about is it's all about building trust when you're selling a service, which is obviously what I'm doing. And I think that helps enormously because she's been in it, like she gets it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's quite hard to prove yourself unless you really have done it. Not saying that you can't, and there are experts out there that are fantastic at what they do, but having that grounding just means that you've got your foot straight. They're on your side immediately without quizzing you. Because often you're seen as like a marketing geek or guru, and service-led firms don't want to spend money on you.
Yeah.
They just don't. But if they know you've got an understanding of it, it makes it a lot easier, that first conversation. And
do you think you still that it brings you additional insight as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does, because I was in a meeting the other day actually, and it wasn't a law firm, it was a estate agency. But they've got a marketing team in-house, and they have me as a consultant. And their marketing team, fantastic. They've learnt a great deal. And what they were saying was right. And they were talking about having the marketing funnel and how we've got to set the marketing up this way. And they're 100% correct. But I said, yes, but you're forgetting actually this, and this over here. And because they're so in it and they're so marketing focused, they haven't got it's not business acumen, that isn't right, but they haven't got that kind of outside perspective.
Yeah, kind of need to take the blinkers off sometimes.
You do, particularly with a service, because there's so much more than just we're selling you this.
Yeah.
There's everything around it.
Yeah.
And that helps enormously, because I was in a estate agency as well. I was actually an estate agent. So I was able to say, no, hang on, you're missing this bit over here.
Yeah.
And the partner goes, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. and the marketing team are like, we asked them about that 2 months ago, and they weren't really listening.
Yeah, exactly. Which is almost what they said. Were you there?
No, but I think we've had similar conversations a lot.
Yes, yeah, massively.
Yeah.
But so in answer to your question, it helps enormously.
Yeah, and of course, I'm if you're a hammer, everything's a nail, and my background's sales. It's not. It's shepherding, as we discussed on the way in. But after that, so that I could actually make some money, I got into sales, and therefore I lean into your BD background, because you mention it. But also, of course, if you've been a chief operating officer at a law firm, that gives you a real insight to everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Like in any service business, right?
Yeah. And I think I've learnt lots all the way along the way, but that was fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Because when you're in marketing, whether you're in-house or, as I said, an agency, it's easy to get, you mentioned the blinkers thing, and you know what you know, and you're really good at your job, but you just forget all the other stuff and how much everything else is costing. Oh, we want to spend money on this. Let's get some ads out there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, can't really afford that right now, because all this over. We just invested in a new IT system.
Exactly.
And unless you've done that job, that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
You've no idea what that system costs. Whereas I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Are we spending? Okay, all right.
It went how much over budget?
Yeah.
Right. that gives us an issue.
Yeah. Oh, we need it. Okay, fine.
What can I cut?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's useful. It's so useful to have. So you did all of those jobs in-house, and then you became Katie Thomson Marketing. Yeah. Well, you're this, and then you started the other thing, Katie Thomson Marketing.
Yeah.
What made you do that? Why'd you do that? I said I was going to ask it petulantly, and I've been a little bit petulant.
No. That's a great question, because I'll be really honest. Frustration. So when you're working in-house, you do have to fit, and you have to do things a certain way.
I feel like we're going to be great friends.
unless you're like ultimately in charge and you can set the rules.
Yeah.
When you're in-house, you have to fill out certain forms, do things a certain way. And I used to think, that's not right. I know that's not right. That's a waste of time. And I would sit round, boardroom meetings, the blue sky thinking meetings, and I'd think, no, I can't do this. This is just not me. I've either got to change what I'm doing completely or go and have a go at doing this myself.
Yeah.
And so I handed my notice in the October, left in the January, started this business, and then COVID happened.
Brilliant.
And I thought, oh my God. How is that fair?
Yeah.
No. And then literally didn't have enough time to sleep. I was so busy.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought COVID was going to be like 3 months, right? And then we were all just going to go back to normal. And it was
Certainly how I gambled it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all did. So they all just said, oh, let's do new websites. Oh, let's spend money on this because in 3 months' time we can just crack right on. This is like breathing space.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, I haven't got enough hours in the day.
Fab.
And then it just snowballed from there, which is a really boring answer, but it's just how it happened.
What? You're too much of an anarchist to have a job. Yeah. That's a much better answer.
Yeah, no.
Dear reader, she said for the money when I said I'm going to ask you why you do this. Clearly, the money is fantastic.
For baked beans on toast every night.
Yeah. And your incredible breakfast recipe that we've been discussing. That's really cool, and that's not unusual, I think, among people who do who run agencies, who do agencies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm from South London. I sometimes forget that I'm in the rarefied air of Devon in white collar work. Well, where was I going? Oh yeah, one of the things that is fascinating to me is I don't know how temporary the hold is on you going, oh, I want to run a 20-person agency or an 8-person agency. We were discussing this earlier.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's just you and Polly, and you're
Yes.
really happy with that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's right there. Awful woman.
She's absolutely brilliant.
She is brilliant. But how long do you see that being the case? Are you just really happy with it now, or?
We've been through quite a change recently. So there was 4 of us in total, because when I started the agency, I'll do this quickly, but when I started the agency, I thought I want to do this. I think I'm quite good at this. Let's give it a go. And then I sort of just grew organically.
Yeah.
All the growth has been completely organic so far. Haven't really spent a great deal of money on marketing.
Physician heal thyself.
But I just took on all work.
Yep.
It wasn't service-led marketing at that point. I thought I was going to do that. And then I thought, oh God, that isn't very sexy. People aren't going to want that. So I'll just take on doing logos and stuff. And then it just sort of grew. So we took on more people to fill the holes, plug the gaps and do the work. And that was great, and very, very talented people that I work with. And if I could have carried on like that, I would have done. But it's just not me. So I think there is a time where, I think we said earlier on, you've got to like what you're doing, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't understand what we're doing. I don't understand it, and I'm in charge of it. So that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I need to get in. We used to talk about lanes. You've got to stay in your lane. Well, my lane is service-led marketing. Yeah. So I changed. Some of the team have gone off and done other things successfully in their own areas and their specialisms. Polly has stayed with me. It's not going anywhere. Because we find what we do interesting. Yeah. And yes, we are only 2 people at the moment. And I think that we will probably get to a stage where we have to grow. But having gone through we're going to grow, we're going to be big, to where we are now, I think we're going to end up probably being 3 or 4 at most. Yeah. Because when you look, there aren't many agencies in the middle. You're either 2 or 3 people or 1, or you're like 20 plus, right? Yeah. So there aren't many, and now I know why. Yeah. Now I understand it.
Yeah, you have to. Your ambition has to be to run a business rather than to do something you love and enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, unless you can do both of those
unless
things.
And some people can
really love that.
And it also depends where you are in the country. I guess that does make a slight difference. But for me, we're happy as we are, with probably another 1 or 2 people at some point.
Really glad to hear you say that. Me and my wife built the business, and we got up to 22 people just before the pandemic. Lovely, great stuff. But we were running a business rather than doing what we really like doing. Yeah. Nick's really good at being pastoral, and she's good at operations and all that kind of stuff, which is why we were successful and profitable. Yeah. But she really likes helping people grow,
Yeah.
like in their careers and in their personal life. And I like fiddling around with data.
Yeah.
And for 10 years, we didn't do that. And it was like,
Yeah.
now we're both like that. Oh, this is glorious.
We love it.
So yeah, good. I'm glad I didn't have to go, look, you're wrong, Katie. Because the optics of that would look weird. And also, you wouldn't be wrong if you were trying to grow it big. That's lovely. So there's just the two of you now. I'm going to wind back a little bit.
Yeah.
What does your ideal client look like? Like if they were to walk through the door now?
Yeah. So ideal client would be, perfect client is a business which is 50 to sort of 200-ish employees.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because those size businesses are happy to invest. So we have smaller businesses, and that's absolutely fine, and they have their place, but they have to be smaller businesses that really want to grow or really need the help.
Some like ambition to...
Yes, yeah. And that's not just because, they're willing to pay the money, but they're willing to get on board. Otherwise, you get companies that come in and just want you to do it for them. Well, you can't. That's not possible. You can't do everything for them. They have to be involved. So, yeah, a 50 to 200-ish company and they might just need a website, they might need a rebrand, they might be going through a bit of strategy change. It could be anything, but they want to really ramp up something or really, really need the help.
And do they have an in-house team that you work with, or? Yeah,
both. So we work with some companies that are 50 to 100 and we are their only marketing function. So we do everything, manage day to day on retainers, or we also work, like I mentioned earlier on, an estate agency. They've got a team of 4 in-house, and we've got a law firm, they've got a team of 8. Yeah. And they either... So some of those I sort of consult, so it's more the strategy with the partners. Some of them I'm training the marketing team, and some of them I say wheel us in and wheel us out for specific things or projects. So it's a real mix, to be honest.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Because now I'm thinking, well, I bump into lots of people who run service businesses, so I need to. So, what advice would you give to younger Katie earlier in her career?
So I have 2 answers to this question. I've thought about this question an awful lot because it's one that normally I go, I don't want to answer that, but I don't know what to say.
It is gross.
It's just horrid, isn't it?
But ChatGPT told me to ask it. It didn't. That's genuine human copying.
So my younger self, when I was 17, because it is important, I think, is, and it's obvious, but it's don't panic. So I was in my year group at school, there was 5 of us that didn't go to college. Everyone else went to college and university, and it just wasn't for me, and my circumstances didn't allow for it, so I just went straight to work.
Same.
So I worked for Mole Valley Farmers, if anyone's ever heard of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Used to be now the owners of Southern Cooperative Agricultural Trading Society, SCATS, where I used to buy my wellies when I was a shepherd.
That's right, SCATS. Oh my God, I remember that.
So you worked for Mole Valley?
Yeah, I worked for Mole Valley.
What were you doing there?
So I was a pharmacist, unbelievably.
For the animals or people?
Animal pharmacist, yeah. So yeah,
Jeepers.
I went and did that on the job, and went and did a course at Bicton College whilst working, and became an animal pharmacist. So yeah, all about wormers and stuff for sheep and pigs and cows.
Glorious stuff.
And then from there I went, this is going to be fast, I promise. From there, I then went to work at equine vets. So as a receptionist and nurse, then an estate agency, as an estate agent, then got into marketing. Yeah. So then I started
you're describing the traditional path.
It was completely, they were like, oh, we've got a role in marketing. And I was like, I could definitely do that. Yeah. Applied, and then it just grew, and then I became marketing manager. And then I thought, oh, this is like a fairly sort of partnership structure. I want to go and learn corporate. So then I went to work for a Mitchell Moore's law firm as BD, and worked in London, Bristol, all over the country, really, really busy, learnt an awful lot, then to a smaller law firm. Anyway, my point is that probably isn't normal. No, and at 17 you're like, oh, what have I done? Yeah, and everyone else was going, oh, I know, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to university and learn this course and that course, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do any of those things. I had no idea what I wanted to do. But the point is that if I hadn't have done all of those things, I wouldn't be good at what I do now, because I learnt business in like lots of different structures and ways. And one of the biggest skills I learned was people skills. So like how to speak to people at a multitude of levels. And I think that is one of the best things I learned for running a business now. But that I wouldn't have thought that when I was 17, would I?
But I was saying, yeah, no, absolutely. I was saying to a friend the other day, we would, in my old business, we eventually came up with it was almost a policy where we'll only hire you, no more fresh grads, only hire you if you've had at least a part-time job that's been public customer facing and difficult. Yeah. So, like a pharmacist perhaps at Mill Valley Farmers occasionally would have been. Yeah. But because then you learn how to deal with all sorts of people at all different levels, and you know how they're going to treat you. Yes. And it's not always going to be respectfully or nice. No. But also, you know, sometimes someone just pulls the rug out from under your day.
A lot.
And absolutely fucks it up. Yeah. And then you just have to get on. And you might end up working late. Yes. Yeah. As opposed to, you know, so often people come into the world of work out of the traditional way. Yes. And like that, what I have to go, you know, I don't want to see you in the blocks at 4:30. No. I'm employing you till 5. I expect you to work till 5.
Till 5, exactly.
Alexa doesn't like me being
We've had an Amazon delivery.
Oh, okay.
Well done, Alexa. Good girl.
Excellent. But yeah, so it is. I think you're right to bring it up because and actually the person the episode that's just gone live, it might have well have just gone live. That could have been Amazon telling me the episode's gone live. Would be weird if it was your Amazon telling me that.
Creepy.
But Jasmine Jasmine Watts from White Space Agency. She's their marketing director. She started there as an apprentice.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. And because she was like, I knew I didn't want to go to college. Yeah. And not all of us have the choice about whether we can or can't go to college or university. Some of us, we're forced into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really glad.
It's different mindsets.
So don't panic if you're 17.
Don't panic. Don't worry about it. Yep. Just get a job. It doesn't matter what it is, because just get a job. Just get a job where they pay you money to be there in the day. Because you are learning something, even if it's not what you end up doing in 20 years' time. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The other answer to that question, because it's younger self. Yeah. Because I was younger 5 years ago, right? So 5 years ago, I'd tell myself exactly the same thing, like it doesn't matter. Just go and try it. Because when I set up the agency, I almost didn't, because I thought, I can't do this. I'm not like a marketing person because I didn't go to university. I didn't do all the traditional stuff. So weird how that still gets you. Yeah, it's still, even now, I think because I didn't do all of those things, I'm not as good as everyone else that has. So I can't run an agency, right? Because I haven't got the credentials. Yeah. And it was only my other half who was like, yeah, but that's why you're different. So crack on. Yeah. Like, get on with it. And so I did. But I almost didn't. Nice. Oh, I really like that. Yeah. Really, I knew there was a reason why I liked you. I really hope after this you still like me. Yeah, it's great. I'm loving it. Just carry on. Mate, thank you so much for having us along and talking so openly about all of that stuff. It's been brilliant, actually. Brilliant. Refreshing to talk about it. It's been a joy to be in your company. Good. Thanks very much. You are more than welcome. Thank you.